Hello, Walter State students. This is Bill Berquist, your instructor for database applications. And here's a video on how to do Grader Project 3 from Chapter 3. I've already got the file downloaded. I went ahead and just did the first step, but I think if you watch this video and follow through all the steps on the printout that I got here of the instructions from my IT lab, you should be able to get through this project. Okay, it is kind of a long project, so I'll go kind of quickly here, but obviously it's YouTube, so you can uh, rewind, fast forward, jump to the step that you got stuck on, what have you. Okay, I've already got the file downloaded here. Look, it's like it's a book and publishers database. Okay, yeah, a little project description. Yeah, we're tracking publishers and book titles to assist students in finding employment. Okay, here we go. On step number 1, it says to download it and open it, which I've already done, and to view the relationships. Okay, to view the relationships. So I'll go to Database Tools and Relationships. Now remember, a relationship exists between two tables. Like one student takes many classes, one instructor has many students, one doctor has many patients. The whole world is filled with relationships. One patient takes many medications, one lawyer has many clients. Okay, so here we have one publisher can have many books. Okay, one publisher has many books, and they're linked together through the publisher ID field name. Okay, notice it's the primary key over here, and this is called the foreign key on this side. Okay, so there's my one-to-many relationship. All right, yeah, you get the primary key and the foreign key. Notice the little number 1 and the little sideways 8, which we all know is what? The symbol for infinity. So one publisher can have an infinite number of career books. Okay, you can just go on and on and on and on and on. All right, so I'll close out of that. And let's move on to step number 2. Use the form tool to create a form based on the career books table. There's my career books table. Make a form. I'll go to create, and I'll just hit the form button. Yoink. And there we go. It'll put together a form for me. There we go. Okay, a little slow there. And now I have a form that sits on top of my table. Forms are a lot easier to work with, and they're a lot more user-friendly than just a plain old table. So forms kind of sit on top of a table to make the user interface a lot more comfortable. Okay, save the form as career book form. All right, now be careful in these Grader projects. Make sure you spell everything correctly. So file, save as, save object as, and save as again. And what was it? Career book form or something? Yep, career book form. Notice I'm matching. Whoops. Matching the case and the spelling. Double check your spelling. If you spell something wrong, it'll probably dock you some points when you go to submit it for grading. Okay. Using the career book form, add the following new record to the underlying careers book table. Okay, so whatever I add to this form will go to the careers book table. Okay, so how do I do a new record? I just do it the cool way. I come down here at the very bottom, and the little triangle with the yellow star on it. Just click on it, and you get a blank form. Okay, and let's see what we got. Let me go to form view, actually. There we go. I think I was in layout view. All right, our title ID is what? Capital T-25. And you can hit tab to go to the next field. Title, effective networking. Again, watch your spelling. Take your time. Slow and steady wins the race. Don't try to knock it out in 5 seconds. It never works out that way. Not for me, anyway. Charlene, publisher ID, pub-109. Again, watch your spelling. Always double check and go back and double check your work. Category, job search. Copies on hand, 6. And value books 180. Okay, looks good. And you can do, if you want to, you can do a Control S and make sure the record gets saved. There we go. Okay, I did a little Control S on the keyboard there just to make sure it's saved. I think it saves automatically, I do believe, but just to make sure. I'm a big fan of Control S. That's like my favorite keyboard shortcut. Okay, and that takes care of step number 2. Number 3, find the record for the title ID of T-19 and then delete the record. Okay, so I'll click up here in title ID, And the most obvious button up here is my little binoculars, which is my find button. And I'll type in capital T-19 and hit enter or hit find next. I'll close out of that. And it says to delete the record. Okay, so I'll come right up here. I'm not going to hit delete. I'm going to hit the little down pointing triangle and pick delete record. And I'm getting confirmation. Just say yes. And that record is gone. Okay. From the print dialog box in the setup option, change the column size width of a printed form to 7.5 inches. Save the form. Okay, file and print again, and then setup and the column width to 7.5 inch. I'll hit columns and width 7.5. I'll hit OK, and I'm going to hit OK again, but it's actually going to print. I'm not sure if you can hit cancel or not, just to make sure the greater project gets. I'm going to hit cancel. Okay, I canceled printing on my printer here. Alright, so step number, I saved the form. Okay, the form's saved. It looks good. Okay, number 4. Now, it's sort of important. I'm kind of going quickly here because I don't want this to be a mile-long video. But it's very important to read all the instructions first, then go back and then start knocking them out. Okay, don't sit there and read one little phrase and start doing it. Okay, read the whole instruction. When it comes to Access databases, you guys, you really got to soak it in. Okay, it's not a simple application like Excel or word processing or PowerPoint. I don't want to scare anybody, but Access databases, it's very, very close to a programming language in a lot of respects. Okay, it's not true programming, but you can do you can make applications out of Microsoft Access. So there's a lot of programming foundation to this app. Okay, so it's not very easy to learn. You sort of have to go slowly and soak it in. Okay, a sponge will pick up a lot more water if you go over it slowly than if you try to just zip right over the countertop. Okay. All right. Number 4, use the Filter by Form tool to create a filter for the career book form that displays records with a category of interviewing strategies or resumes. Big word, or right there. After verifying that 10 records match the filter criteria, toggle the filter off to display all 24 records. Save and close the form. Okay, here we go. I'm going to go up here to my sort and filter section. Now, I don't see a filter by form, do I? Okay, but I do see some down pointing arrows, and I'll go to advanced, and there's filter by form. Now, filtering is basically just extracting certain records, right? I got 10,000 customers. I only want to see Walter State, or I got 10,000 students. I only want to see Walter State students. Okay, in that case, I'll do filter by form. Okay. My filter by forms turned on. Doesn't look much different, but if you look down here at the bottom, I have a look for and an or right here. Okay. All right. Let's see here. It wants me to look for the category. Okay. Of interviewing strategies. Watch your spelling. Then I'm going to click my or button down here. And was that resumes, I think? Yes. Okay. Resumes. Then I'll go back up to my advanced button, and I'll do apply, filter, and sort. All right, there's other ways you can do it, but I like using the ribbon. I'm a very visual type learner. Okay, so I go to the ribbon for everything. Or most everything, anyway. There we go. And I should have only 10 records out of 24. And there they are right there. Record 1 of 10. Okay. Record 1 of 10. And if I scroll through them, the category should be either interviewing strategies or resumes. I shouldn't see anything else. It looks good. I got 8 strategies and 2 resumes, it looks like. Okay, 2 or 3 resumes. All right, looks good. Okay. Yeah, after verifying that the 10 records match the filter criteria, toggle the filter off to display all 20 records. Okay. Do my toggle filter right here. And all 24 records come back. Okay, all 24 records come back. And save and close the form. Save it, my little disk, or do a Control S, and I'll right-click my tab and hit close. Okay, back to a gray screen. Okay, let's go on to number 5 now. Use the form wizard to create a form based on the publisher's table. Now here's a cool trick they never tell you in the book. Click the table first. Don't double click it. Single click your table first to select it. Then go to create in form wizard. By doing that, the table's already selected in your first wizard dialog box here. Okay, just a cool little trick sometimes you don't see in a book. All right. Let's see here. Add the following fields to the form. I'm on step number 5 now. Company name, last name, first name. Okay, I'll double click company name, last name, first name, and what else here? Job title and phone number. Job title, phone number, and looks good. If you accidentally put the wrong one over here, just click it and hit the little less than sign button, and that'll put it back over to the left. Okay, all right, double check it. Looks good. I'll click next. Da, 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 da. They want a columnar layout, which is the default choice. The column layout, you see the little preview right over here. The dark orange are the field names, and the light orange is the actual data. So like this one would be last name, Smith. First name, Joe. Address, 123 Fake Street. Okay. City, Morristown. State, Tennessee. Okay, yeah, so the darker ones are the field names. Lighter ones are the actual data. And you can pick tabular and see how that looks. Looks like a data sheet, sort of. Okay, data sheet looks like that. Justified looks kind of cool. Okay, all right, they want columnar, so I'll hit next. And let's see what name they wanted on it for it here. Publisher form. Okay, publisher form. Again, watch your spelling. Publisher form, hit finish. And there's your really cool form sitting on top of your table. Okay, and it gets added over here as well. Okay, looks good. Okay, number 6. Step number 6 now. With the publisher form displayed in layout view, now I think we're in form view right now, I'm not sure, but you can go right over here and pick your view, and we'll pick layout view. There we go. Layout view means you can sort of move things around on your form to see how it looks. The way that your other people that will be using the database is gonna see this screen. Okay, that's sort of what layout view is. Apply the stacked layout to all of the controls. Okay, so how do I select all the controls? There's a couple cool ways you can do it. I'm just gonna hold the control key down and click them. These are all controls right here. Okay, let's see, arranged, under design, the stacked, there it is. Okay, create a layout similar to paper form, which is labeled to the left of each field. Okay, it looks good. Alright. Apply the integral theme to this form only. Okay, my themes are going to be under design, I think. Yep, there are themes. And we want to pick integral. Integral. Okay, only to that form only. So I'm going to right click it and apply theme to this object only. There we go. Looks good. Select the title publisher form. There it is. Change the font size to 16 in bold. That's simple enough. Format. 16 point bold. Okay, looks good. Change the font color to dark teal. Okay, so the font color is my A right here. And it even tells you where it is exactly. Yeah, 4th column, last color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, last color. It should be dark teal, text 2 darker 50%, and it is. Okay, I'll click on that and save the form. Hit my little save button up here, and voila. Okay, looks good. Step number 7. With the publisher form displayed in layout view, which it is, from the field list pane, add the publisher ID field to the form directly above the company name controls. Okay, so let's see, what do they want here? The publisher ID? Yeah, the publisher ID field is directly above company name. Okay, so I'll go to publisher ID, and I'm going to drag it right over here. See the line? Wherever I release the mouse is where it's going to get dropped. And I'll put it right here. And publisher ID. Looks good. Okay. Close the field list pane. It's simple enough. There we go. Looks good. And the form, move the rep first name controls directly above the rep last name controls. Okay, so it looks like they want first name, last name instead of last name, first name. So I'll go here, hold the control key down. I think now I got both those controls are selected. Remember, these are labels, and this is a text box. Okay, a label box just says a word in there, last name, first name, address. The text box is actually tied to the field that shows you the information. Okay, now of course I lost my place. Where am I moving this to now? Okay, move the rep first and directly above the rep last name. Okay, so I'm going to click and drag. And notice as long as I don't drop the mouse anywhere, I can go anywhere I want to. And I'll go above last name. Okay, and now my first name is first, my last name is last. Okay, looks good. That's how I'm reading it anyway. So if I'm making a mistake, hey, say, hey, Mr. Berquist, Bill, you are all messed up. Here's why. Okay, always let me know. But I think we're looking pretty good so far. Change the width of the job title text box control to 2.5 inches. Okay, the job title text box. Now, which one's the job title text box? Is it this or this? Okay, it's either this one or this one. Okay, it's this one. All right, that's the text box. This is just a label box. This isn't tied to anything. This is actually tied to the field in that table. So that's our text box right there. And they want us to change the width of the text box to 2.5 inches. Kind of the long way to do it, but I'm going to right click on it and go all the way down to properties. Okay, and I can hit format, and there's width. And what did it say? 2.5, I think? Yep, 2.5. There we go. And I'll close out of that property sheet. And it says to save the form. Okay, looks good. So that takes care of step number 6. Number 7, with the publisher form displayed in layout view, okay, which it is right now. We're still messing with the same form. From the field list pane, go here. Okay, we already done that one. Let me go to this page. Okay, I'm sorry, that's my mistake. We're on number 8. Okay. With the publisher form displayed in layout view, select all 6 text box controls. Okay, now are these the text box controls or are these the text box controls? These are. Okay, so control click each one. Control click, control click, control click, control click, control click. All right, is it 6? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, looking good. Change the background color to turquoise. It's the 5th column, 2nd color. So here's your background color right here. Here's that bucket of paint. And what are they saying here? 5th column, 2nd color. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the second one. Turquoise accent 1, lighter 80%. And that is it. And I'm looking good. Looks very good. Okay. Select all 6 label controls. So click, control, click, 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 click. Okay. Change the font color to dark teal, which is 4th column, last color. And that is the font color, right? Yep. My font color. And I'm going to go to the 4th column, last color. 1, 2, 3, 4. And last one. Dark teal, text 2, darker 50%. Yipperoonie, that's it. Okay, looks good. Okay. For the same controls, apply bold. That's simple enough. There we go. Change the width to 1.75 inches. I'll right-click any one of the controls, go to Properties. Width, it's already 1.7. 1.75. There we go. Made it a tad bit larger. I'll close out of that and I'll save the form. Okay, looks good. With the publisher form displayed in layout view, select the 6 label controls and the 6 text box controls. Okay, so all of them. Control, click, I wonder if Control A would work. There we go, Control A, voila. Control A is my favorite keyboard shortcut. That's basically select all. Okay. Change the font size to 12. Okay, simple enough. Change the height to 0.25 inches. Okay, so I'll right click, go down to properties, height, 0.25. There we go. Looks good. Also, my form looks pretty good, doesn't it? Okay, it's very even, very consistent. Okay, it looks good. Make sure yours does too. Okay, if it looks kind of out of whack, something probably went wrong somewhere. Um, Boxes are overlapping each other. One box is a mile long. One box is way too short. Look for obvious, obvious mistakes with your form. This form looks pretty good, so I'm fairly confident that we're doing the right thing. Okay, I'm going to save the form here. And that completes step number 9. Okay, we're going to do one more step here, and then I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. We'll call this part 1. Then I'll make a second video called part 2, which will go to steps 11 to the end of the project here. Okay, with the publisher form displayed in Design View. Okay, I'll go to Home here, View, Design View. Okay, Design View is a little bit different now. Well, I'll leave my property sheet open. I seem to want to go to that a lot. I can shrink this down a little bit so I can see better. There we go. That looks good. Okay. Change the height of the form footer section to 0.5 inches. Okay, my form footer section's right here, and I'm going to go to 0.5. Now, how do I know it's 0.5? I'm just going to drag down. See the black bar over there, over here? I'll go down to, that would be 1 inch. Okay, right here. There's a 1/2 inch. There we go. And my form footer is now 1/2 inch. Okay. Add a label control to the form footer section that displays Texas Lakes Southwest Campus. Okay, so where's my label controls? They're all right up here. Okay. Make sure you pick the right one. Okay. Not a text box, a label box. There we go. Just single click it, and I'll single click in my form footer section. Doesn't matter where. And I'm going to type in Texas Lakes Southwest Campus. Texas Lakes South. Again, watch your spelling. Okay. Let me double check my spelling here. Make sure I typed in the right thing. Remember, take your time, folks. Okay. Don't rush. Don't try to knock it out. Sunday night, 11:45 at night. Sunday night, 11:45 p.m. You're trying to, knock this thing out. Okay. Take your time. There we go. I'll hit enter. That selects it. For the selected control, change the font color to dark teal. Okay, 4th column, last color. Go back over here to Home. Whoops, my fault. Format. Okay, and it might already be on there since we used it recently, but I'll go over here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Last one. Dark teal, darker 50%. Double check it. Looks good. Okay, apply bold. And make the width 2.2 inches. Yep, 2.2 inches. Hit enter. Okay, the text box or label box is nice and long enough to hold the text in there. Set the top property to 0.1 inch. There's my top right over here. 0.1. Enter. Okay, the left to 1.25. There's my left. 1.25. See, Access is like a programming language. See all these properties you can set, and there's just like millions of things you can do in Access. So yeah, it is a very, very like programmer's environment. Okay, close the property sheet and save the form. And save. Okay, doesn't say close it. All right. Let's stop here, and that completes steps 1 through 10 of the Chapter 3 Grader project. We'll call this video part 1, and I'll make part 2 here in a second, and that'll complete the rest of the video. Okay?